Hey guys, welcome to At Home Fitness with Coach A. I am Coach A, and this is the YouTube channel that aims to bring you guys in gym quality coaching and workouts for your at home or garage gym needs. Now, it is Wednesday, December 9th, and we are on day number 269 of our At Home Fitness programming series. Without further ado, here is what we're looking at today. All right, guys, first piece is going to be two different strength movements. If you really want to, you guys can superset these, but they're not necessarily programmed to function that way. So 3 rounds, we're gonna go 10 bird dog row on the right and 10 bird dog row on the left, alternating back and forth. You guys have done this before, so work those rests in there evenly as we go through as you feel you need fit. The second piece is going to be 3 rounds again of 20 weighted glute bridge or hip thrust. Very high rep set, so we're probably not looking at super heavy weight here. Want a clear, concise squeeze and extension of the hips at the top of each piece versus kind of shortening those out and getting a little shaky because the weight is too high for 20 reps. Like I said, you guys can superset that if you want, since it's a row of 3 rounds, or feel free to just go through your 10s and then your 20s. Rest as you need to. I would rather see some quality today, guys, as opposed to trying to rush through this. Now, second piece down here today looks like a lot of stuff. It's not actually going to be that much work. We're only looking at 2-minute AMRAPs, and you can see here there's 3 columns. So there's going to be 3 2-minute AMRAPs. There's going to be a minute rest in between each. Now, each AMRAP has the same movements. However, they're going to be split up differently based on the AMRAP. The first AMRAP we have here for 2 minutes is going to start with 20 Russian twists with ideally with a ball, probably around 14 pounds, into 10 box jumps at a normal height. 24-20 is what I like to list that as. And we are going to finish with max effort mountain climbers in the rest of your 2 minutes. Now we're going to hit that 1 minute rest, and then we're going to move over to 10 box jumps, followed by 20 mountain climbers, followed by max effort Russian twists with whatever time is left in the 2 minutes. Again, minute rest, and then finally our last 2-minute AMRAP is going to start with 20 mountain climbers, then 20 Russian twist, and a max effort round of box jumps with whatever time is left in those 2 minutes. Each piece, super aggressive, guys. Keep the intensity as high as we possibly can, with the one caveat of don't go crazy on the box jumps where you fall over the place and smash your shin on the box. Be aggressive, attack it, but be careful enough that you're not going to hurt yourself. Stick around for those demos and modifications. All right, lifting time. We're going to get some bird dog rows in, guys. Going to set the knee down first, set the opposite hand. The goal of the positioning there is that my arm and thigh are completely vertical, and that back leg squeezing the glute is completely parallel to the floor. From there, total control over the core and stability. Let the shoulder sink a little bit on the way down. I pull the shoulder back and flex. All right, guys, glute work. I'm going to demonstrate the hip thrust because I think we all pretty much have an idea of what a weighted glute bridge is going to look like. Hip thrust, I want to get those shoulder blades up on top of the bench. I'm going to try and keep my spine in a nice neutral position the whole time. At the top, you can see me pointing to the knees here. We want the shins to be slightly angled out or down. I don't want those knees to be out in front of the ankles at the top of this movement. So remember, it's a hinge, a pure hinge. As I drop the hips, allow myself to hinge down. The chest, the head, and the shoulders need to come with me as I push the heels into the ground, squeeze the glutes to extend on the way up. Chest, head, and shoulders move with me again. All right, guys, let's get into that super short workout, but super intense. Keep that in mind. First 2 minutes, remember, we're going to start with our Russian twist, then go to our box jumps, and finish with our max effort mountain climbers. So here we are, starting with the 20 Russian twist. Remember, if you don't have the ability to tap, it creates pain. Feel free not to tap, just kind of cross those hips. If we can keep the feet up, awesome. If not, we can always set those feet down on the ground to control stability. We're into the box jumps. I'm just jumping on the bench here since I had it convenient. Speed things up a little bit, make this easier. Again, I want you guys pushing straight through these, but I don't want you getting out of control and crazy so you end up tweaking a calf muscle or landing on your back in a bad position coming down trying to balance, something along those lines. That should give you a minute to do mountain climbers. Now, for anybody that's done a bunch of mountain climbers, a minute is a long time. Chances are you are going to have to stop and rest, which is perfectly fine. Catch your breath, take a few breaths. back to it like I am here. Keep attacking, guys. I want this to be high intensity. I want you to be able to recover on the minute, but not necessarily completely. Stay tuned for movement modifications. Hey guys, welcome to the mods for today. So on the first two pieces are lifting pieces. The focus is pulling movements, okay? Or I say pulling movements, posterior chain movements, let's call it. So upper body pulling while staying in an engaged position, and then that glute and hamstring work on the hip extension, whether it's a glute bridge or a hip thrust, something along those lines. So honestly, all we're really looking for today is to be able to brace the core and pull on the bird dog row. You guys can do that bent over row. It's not a big deal. If this is one of those days where we're gonna try and modify that specifically with a stabilizing position like the side plank row with a band or something along those lines, all right? As long as you're able to stabilize the spine, keep your midline solid. There's work being done, which honestly, even in that barbell bent over row position, there's still work being done to stabilize that and brace that. We're getting the idea for the pull. And all I'm looking for on the second piece is that glute and probably a little bit of hamstring action as you squeeze and extend. So even if we're looking at a non-weighted glute bridge, guys, we're still getting the point of that. We're still getting the work in. Now, for the workout, you guys have box jumps, which can be step ups. I want it to be an elevation hang. I want you guys to try and go up if possible. I mean, honestly, even if we're talking about doing it in our socks and stepping up on the couch, that's still going to be something I'm going to be okay with here, because theoretically you guys can go through this whole workout with your socks on. That's fine. Russian twist, we want the lateral rotational core work. All right, so if the feet have to be on the ground, that's fine. If there's no weight and you're just kind of holding a pillow in your hands or something, moving back and forth, that's fine. If we have a ball and we're standing up and getting some, golf swing warm-ups, as you might call them, that is going to work as well. For the mountain climber, I want the hips closing, right? And I want you stabilizing, bracing. I want you breathing really hard. So I don't care if the knees don't get all the way to the elbows. I don't care if the knees don't get at the chest, right? As long as we're moving, we're getting that core work in, we're closing the hips, we're getting the point there. The rep scheme should always work on that. The goal is finish. I have a minute to do my max effort work. All right, so if you need to adjust the reps a little bit, that's fine. Try and adhere to that time frame of, it takes me a minute to get through those first two pieces that have defined reps. I have a minute to do my max effort set of whichever one of the movements we're really talking about there. All right, the only one that probably will get tough, which could be the box jumps into, the Russian twist into the box jumps, but technically that's your first round, so I set that up so you guys would feel the freshest, so to speak, and you might be able to push through that the best, okay? So let me know if you have any questions, concerns, anything you need adapted, here to help.